Well, good midday to you, one and all. We bless the Lord for another opportunity to be able to come to you and to share with you the word of the Lord in this quick snapshot. And so, again, we're grateful to God. Kathy, no, I am in. I'm deficient in my water drinking, but I do plan on doing better this week in a whole lot of ways. Okay, so we bless the Lord for each and every one of you. Thank you so much for being a part of this moment for us to share one with the other. And speaking of sharing, as you are coming on board, it would be absolutely wonderful if you would please share. If you would please share, that would be tremendous. Okay, so we thank God for you, Minister Sarah. Good midday. Good to be back. Sheila Taylor, bless you. How's everything going in Columbus? Praying that all is well with you and yours. And just grateful. Good midday to you, Carolyn. Good to have you with us on today. It's a wonderful day in the neighborhood. You know, I have to throw something like that in there every now and then just to say what need to be said. And so again, as you are coming on, and as we prepare to share, if you would be kind enough to do the same, that would be absolutely fantastic. Casper, bless you for being here with us on this wonderful day. Chaplain Hearns, bless the Lord. We're just glad that we are here and able to share with you on today. For this is the day that the Lord has made. Deborah, bless you. Thank you, Nancy. Good to have you here with us on this day. Tom, bless your heart, man. Glad that you are here with us today. So, wanted to get that out there. Please share, please share, please share, please share. Denise, how are you? Thank you so much for being with us on today. That is fabulous and fantastic. Minister Faye, bless your heart. Wonderful word yesterday. We are grateful to God for you. Ayana, are you holding it down downtown? Okay. Lady Bowling, bless you. Good midday to you and to yours. And so we are thankful to God for you one and all. So let's go ahead and come on in the room. Come on in the room. Let's come on in here so that we can do what we need to do. Timothy, bless you so much for being a part of this moment of sharing on today. I think that today's lesson is going to spill over into 2 days. I just kind of sense it in my spirit that it's going to kind of happen like that. Stephanie, thank you so much for being here. Gaither, bless the Lord for you and for yours and for all that you are doing. And so, Elder James, bless your heart for being here. And so, I just got this inkling in my spirit that there's a real good possibility. Elder Pamela, bless you. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah, we're gonna pray for Youngstown because Youngstown needs much prayer. Akron needs much prayer. Minister Marcia, bless you. It's a sad day in the life of Youngstown. Um, there's a whole lot I could say that I won't say because I'm going to let Christy. How are you? I'm going to let the powers that be deal with this issue. But I think sometimes I just think sometimes that people stumble over themselves. And I believe that they are probably trying to be helpful, but in the midst of that, you can kind of create chaos when you. It's like telling the Lord, Tamika, how are you, dear? It's like telling the Lord, lead me, and then you jump in front of Him and say, well, you ain't really leading the way I want you to, so I'm gonna do it myself. And then when you make a mess out of it, then you don't want to own up to the fact that you created the mess. Sabrina, are you taking care of yourself? You've been cooking and carrying on. Well, how's that foot? Okay, and so that's all I'm gonna say because I'm gonna let this be hashed out among those that it needs to be hashed out among, but I just hate when political chicaneries get in the way of the well-being of people. James, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Sonia, bless you. Linda, thank you so much for being. Well, let me ask this question. Let's see if you'll answer it honestly and openly. Have you ever allowed what you see to get in the way of what you know? Have you, missed y'all too? Have you ever allowed what you see to get in the way of what you know? Jaleesa, bless your sweet potato soul for being here with us. I want us to think about this because when we deal with faith, when we deal with walking by faith, when we deal with living by faith, when we deal with abiding by faith, trusting by faith, it just makes me wonder how many faith walkers, how many people who have just really trusted God have plummeted and fell by the wayside in a horrific manner just due to the fact that you've allowed something that you see. Rhonda, bless you for being here. You've allowed a circumstance, you've allowed a situation to happen in your life that throws everything out of kilter. Cora, bless your heart, dear, for being here. Valerie, bless you. Tell Dad we said hello. And the reason I say that, because I mean, let's talk about a couple of things. We look at the explosion that took place downtown Youngstown, shakes our faith. Sylvia Scott, bless you. We look at, for those of you who may not know, of the 24 people who were shot in Akron in a street party, and one person died, and I forget how many of them. I guess it was 24 of them that went to the hospital. Gladys, how are you? Debbie Johnson, bless your heart. When you look at this and you see what could be considered senseless acts or senseless activities, do you allow what you see to get in the way of what you know? Those kids that were shot were down the street from where I used to live on the east side of Akron. The fact that it's up in the air as to whether, Ethel, bless you for being here, it's up in the air whether that building will remain or will be demolished. And you wonder, why did that young man have to die? Why did that young man have to die in Akron? Doe, bless your heart for being here. Ethel, good to have you here. And good to have you here. I'm dealing with this because a lot of times the enemy is good at painting a picture of gloom and doom, but through Christ, all things are possible. And we've all had to deal with this. We've all, Sonia, how are you? Good midday to you. We've all had to struggle with that because, and I'm going to say this because I think it needs to be said. When the tragedy is in somebody else's house, it is easy to deal with. When the situations and things that are falling apart in somebody else's life, it's easy for those on the outside to appear and to look one way. But when it's you, when it's your family, when it's your circumstances, when it's your situations, do you allow what you see to stand in the way of what you know or what you should be able to master by now? Because every now and then, as soon as you think you have mastered one thing, something else stupid, crazy, and chaotic happens. Think about this, even in my own family. Um, my son's mother-in-law, she didn't have no more than the normal ailments. And then the next thing you know, she's gone. How does that shape or shake your faith? How does that shape or shake your faith? Shape, SHAPE, or SHAKE. How does it do this? Okay, because Kathy, there is not an exempt card from anybody. I don't care whether you're an apostle, a bishop, a prophet, a pastor, a teacher, or just a lay person in that pew. Nobody is exempt. And how do you manage that? How do you program yourself to go through this when what has just taken place is going through you? Well, I'm going to look at a passage. I've got because when we look at the people in the word of the Lord, and we think that they are giants in faith. We think that they can do all kinds of things, and but every now and then faith is challenged. And can we just be honest? Every now and then we failed in our faith. Teach, Pastor. Thank you, Minister Sarah. I'm just dealing with it the best way that I know how, because, and I think sometimes it sends out a misnomer among the weaker saints, that they look at us and say, "Oh my God, everything is just no, 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 no." There are days in all of our lives when we go through stuff and we don't tell nobody about it. Nope, it's not on the radio or television. It's not being aired out or anything like that. But it's a private moment of personal challenge that takes place in our lives. And the question is, do I continue to be controlled by what I see, or will I be controlled by what I know? The gospel recorded by Matthew chapter 14. And this is the reason why I said this is going to take 2 days, I believe, because this is pertinent. Everybody has seen this passage. Everybody has looked at it. Everybody done preached it. Everybody done taught it. But I want us to look at something. Matthew 14, starting at the 25th verse. Gerald Jones, bless your heart, my friend. Because in the midst of this, how do I manage what is trying to manage me? Ooh, how do I remain sane in an insane situation? And then when I lose my sanity, where do I go? When I lose my trust, who do I turn to? When I lose my confidence, what do I do? I want us to look at something. Everybody knows this passage. Everybody knows it. It says, now on the fourth watch of the night, Jesus went to them walking on the sea. And when the disciples saw him walking on the water, they were troubled, thinking that it was a ghost, and they cried out in fear. Now, you have to remember, Jesus had already told the disciples to go to the other side. Sherry Thomas, how are you? Thank you so much for being here with us on today. We appreciate you. Okay. And so he tells them to do that. They get in the boat, they go. He goes up to the mountain because he needs to pray. And this is an important point that many of us must remember, that there must be those moments when we steal away so that we can talk to God, so God can talk to us. So we see here the disciples saw him walking out on the sea. Now you got to remember, there's a storm raging. There's a Euroclydon that's going crazy. The boat is filling up with water. They're being tossed all over the place. The waves are of a cataclysmic magnitude, and the wind is blowing like crazy. Eric Blair, bless you, man. Thank you for being here. And so in the midst of this, Jesus comes walking. The first thing that they're afraid of is what they see, what they need. Oh my God. Well, yeah, the very thing that they need, because he's not recognizable in the storm. Can I talk about that for just a second? I got 1 minute. He's not recognizable in the storm. And this is what you have to know. Just because you don't recognize him doesn't mean he's not there. He walks over to them. They cry out because they're scared to death. And these are not wimps. These are big, burly, strong fishermen. Darlene Madison, bless you for being here. These are not weak men, and they're screaming and they're yelling because here comes this thing that they believe will finish them off from whatever the waves and the storm have not done. And immediately when he hears their cry, he speaks. Can I talk about that for the next 30 seconds? You got to know that when he hears your cry, he speaks to your cry. When he hears your anguish, he speaks to your anguish. He says to them, be of good cheer. It is I. Don't be afraid. Listen, we're going to come back tomorrow. We're going to deal with this just a little bit more. I might be 3 days on this one at the rate it's going. This is important. And you got to catch this because I'm going to share some stuff with you because this is overwhelmingly pertinent because I don't care who you are. I don't care where you are. Everybody is going to go through a storm. But the key is, have you ever allowed what you see to stand in the way of what you know? I got to go. Listen, the scripture is Matthew 14:25. That's where we started at. Matthew chapter 14, starting at the 25th verse. See y'all tomorrow. Same time, same station. May God bless you. May he keep you is our prayer.